Are you looking for a second bike, a bike to have really a lot of fun with, a hooligan bike, a bike to do wheelies with, which I cannot do, or just a bike to smash around corners, throw it around and to have a lot of fun on it? I think this is the bike for you. So in this video we're going to talk about the Ducati Hypermotard 698 Mono. One of the first, or at least the only one-cylinder bike from Ducati. We're going to talk about the engine, rideability, overall looks, suspension, features and tech, price, and of course my overall final conclusions. First, talk about the engine. So this is the latest single-cylinder engine of Ducati, and it's the only one in the lineup. It is a really powerful engine for that amount of cc's. It has around 77 brake horsepower, which is a lot. It sounds absolutely awesome. This one does have a full Termignoni exhaust. It's a little bit on the loud side, but still, I really like it. Engine is really peppy, especially for what it's going to do. If you're riding until like 130 kilometers an hour, it's really fun. It feels like a lot more power. It is a really torquey engine. Yeah, and I absolutely love it. I really hope that they put this engine in a lot of other models, like a Enduro bike, for example. But absolutely lovely engine. If we're going to talk about the overall rideability, it's of course Supermoto, so it's really easy to ride. It has really good Pirelli sport tires with really good suspension, really good Brembo brakes, both at the front and at the rear. We have a single radial caliper on the front. That's also Ducati. Both radial brakes, so a radial brake and a radial clutch. Absolutely top notch. I think these brakes are one of the best brakes that I've ever used, together with my Moto Guzzi V100. This version has fully adjustable suspension, which is out of the box pretty nice. It's pretty stiff, but I think that's the whole point of this bike. The suspension is stiff, the chassis is stiff, so it's really easy to do a really hard cornering, so that's really nice. It's one of the most fun bikes that I have ever tried. Of course, talking about practicability, this bike is really used as a second bike to go on a track, to do some hooligan things with it, to do wheelies if you can. I cannot, but if you can, it's a really nice bike to have. And of course, really customizable. So talking about comfort, of course, you need this bike for an hour or maybe 2 or maybe 3, but not a whole day of riding. I think every bike is capable to do world trips on it, but I would prefer this bike just on the tarmac. Short rides, track days maybe, or something like that, but just really fun rides to blow off some steam. I think that bike is perfect for that. The seating position is pretty good. It's a pretty low and light bike. It's around 160 kilos wet. That's pretty light, and you feel that, of course. So as I said, I am around 186 meters or 1.86 meters or 186 centimeters. So I'm pretty average in height, a little bit above average. I have pretty long legs, but for me it's absolutely comfortable. It really feels like 100 grams, so light it is. It's 160 kilos. It's so easy to maneuver, so easy manageable. Yeah, absolutely lovely. And I said, in terms of seating position, I think this bike is capable of being for almost everyone. And you can of course get lowering kits or get a lower seat or something like that. So it's always possible to adjust it to your own height. In terms of features and tech, it's really a relatively simple bike. It does have cornering ABS, it does have TFT dash, rather a small one. It doesn't have any special things like cruise control because it doesn't need it. It doesn't have a quick shifter, but I hope there is a version with quick shifter because I think this bike with a quick shifter is really awesome. It has LED in the front and at the rear, LED turn signals, no heated grips. Maybe it's an option, I'm not sure. I will put it down below in the description. It's a pretty basic bike, but you do have all the safety features. Yeah, maybe more than your typical supermoto. I think that's part of the charm, that it's that simple. So no fancy TFT dash or something like that. Just a simple system. It does have multiple riding modes, which is really nice, but I think you will ride this bike most of the times in sport mode. So talking about the elephant in the room, the price, it's around 14,700 euros here in the Netherlands, which is pretty expensive, especially for a supermoto, a single cylinder, but there is not a lot of competition. We only have the KTM supermoto single cylinder bikes, so that's the only competition we have. And yeah, I think that's also around this price. So as a second bike, it's a really good bike, but it's a bit pricey, so it really depends on your budget if this is the right one for you. If you're going to begin on this bike, yeah, of course, then maybe the price is more justifiable, but practicality is a little bit limited. Of course, you have a really small tank and you have no capability of traveling with this bike, so that's why I say it's a really good second bike. It has a really good maintenance interval for a single cylinder. Let me check, it's around every 9,000 miles you need to do an oil change, and every 18,000 miles you need to do a valve check. So that's pretty nice. It's not a high maintenance engine by any means. So final thoughts on this bad boy. I think it's a really nice bike. As I said, more for a second bike. If you have the money, if you want a bike that is really playful, that you can do fast corners with it, you can wheelie, you can stoppie, you can really want to be the hooligan, also have a great sound, I would definitely recommend to check this bike out. And if you're in the neighborhood, please go to MotoHippo, because thanks to them I am capable of trying this bike out. MotoHippo is a Ducati, Yamaha and Motorini dealer. Really nice guys. If you have any questions about this bike, please leave a comment down below, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, and see you next time. Bye. If you want to see my newest video, tap here. If you want to see my recommended video for you, tap here. And if you want to subscribe, tap here. Thanks for watching. Tap here, or tap here.